Florida.
Florida. Speaking of. Now, how do we roll?
How do we roll?
Through.
What we got?
We got a couple themes, because as we know, no one is immune. If you're in Florida, the mayor, we told you about the mayor, they got her purse robbed at the gas station. Yep. It doesn't matter if you're the mayor, if you're David Copperfield, you're a master, you're going to be violated in some way.
Yeah.
Whether you're the greatest magician in the world, but only the second, because we'll get to David later, or if you're the mayor, or if we've got two incidents. If you're a football player, Jason Taylor, who plays for the Miami Dolphins, he was with his wife, some maniac driving up on him in a road rage incident. He was trying to pull over to let the guy pass him. The guy got out yelling racial slurs, took out a knife and stabbed his arm. He's been got arrested later that night when they ID'd him for a hate crime. So this is one of a star player on the football team. We've got the other football team, Tampa Bay. They had two players on the Buccaneers that were riding with the police as like, hey, we're going to do a ride along. They got a call over the radio that there was someone being attacked with a stick. It turns out it was two other policemen doing training drills. The two cops showed up screaming for them to stop while they were trying to say, no, listen, we're cops. They were being maced. Well, the cops were trying to get ID, like, as they're being maced, we're cops. Why are you macing us? Because we live in Florida, dick. That's why we're macing you. So whether you play for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, whether you play for the Miami Dolphins, whether you're David Copperfield, whether you're the mayor, you're fucked. Two homeless guys in Central Florida, they got in a fight over a can of beer. One stabbed the other one to death.
Well, that's just...
Two homeless guys in Gainesville got in a fight over a box of raisins. One of them stabbed the other one to death.
That is the worst thing I have ever heard.
You'd rather die over beer than raisins?
Are you kidding me?
You'd rather die over what?
You're going to tell me... Oh, okay. A box of raisins?
Dude, raisins are delicious, first of all.
Raisins are the worst.
And they keep you regular, and they're delicious.
Like, you couldn't give raisins away when you were a kid in school.
These are prunes, these are raisins.
At least I would know if I was getting stabbed to death for a beer. First of all, that I was willing to squab with the dude, and I would have...
It did say it was their last beer.
Well, not only that, but if you're two bums and you're fighting over a beer like that, the fact is, it's just a matter of which one has a shiv. Because either, if I'm that other bum, I would have shivved him. If you're two bums fighting over a beer, either one is liable to shiv the other one. It's just a matter of who. So you're bleeding to death. You're bleeding out, going, I had it coming. Listen, we were fighting over a beer. He shivved me. He shivved me first.
They're very hungry. They're homeless. Maybe they haven't eaten. This is a big, delicious box of raisins.
Big, delicious box of raisins.
All right, we got a man arrested in Titusville, Florida. A very elaborate computer system was found inside his car. He was sitting outside of a school using it to view child pornography.
Why outside of a school?
Why not? Where else are you going to do it? Outside of a raisin factory? I mean, that's where it gets it on, dude.
Such a weird place to set up camp.
Well, he was also, because he was taking photos of kids trying on shoes at local Walmarts. That was like his steez.
Just sexy.
So this week in Walmart, we'll just pull that right
in.
But yeah, they found him because he's constantly around kids, watching kids. Because when they found over 1,000 images of kids, like some of them clothed, just like shots of the butts.
Right. So he was not only viewing child pornography, but also like
normal, yeah,
just taking pics,
doing beautiful glamour headshots,
right,
and butt shots. They found this webcam in the car, and it was a mobile computer center, they called it, including webcam. He had a wireless connection to get on the internet. He had a portable printer. Quite an extensive setup.
Holy crap.
It's good work.
What kind of car? Tell me. I just was wondering if it's like a truck or a van.
It better be a van that you tricked out.
Yeah, I think it might be one of my vans.
A woman in Tampa was sound asleep on a warm evening. She decided to open up her window. It gets warm in Florida, I'm told.
I've heard.
She's minding her own business. She was in a deep sleep. She thought what she thought was a cockroach crawling on her. And then it brushed across her breasts and then down her arm. And she turned over and she cursed that bug. But then she felt something else weird. In her ear, she felt someone's tongue slipping in her ear. She woke up. She saw a man leaning in her window, yelled at her in Spanish, and then crawled out back the window like a crab, she said. Yelled in Spanish and ran off down the street.
Like a crab.
Like a crab. Yelling Spanish. A Spanish crab. I don't know what the Spanish crab would say. Her son, a 13-year-old son, put on a T-shirt, ran outside. The police tracked him down, arrested him on charges of burglary, lewd and lascivious behavior. He also had some warrants out for his arrest, so he's in jail right now.
Hold on, Mom. Let me put on a T-shirt.
Mom, I'm going to put on a T-shirt of a wrestler from the WWE. I'm going to pick which wrestler that is now. John Cena. Let me get him.
All right. Sorry. Just really quick. If you are going to crab crawl into somebody's room,
Yeah.
you're going to fickle around,
Lean in.
fickle around on them,
Gently
get
touch the
to their
breast.
nipple, and then you're going to French their ear?
People have weird picadillos when it comes to this with these things.
Like,
you
of
know?
all things to do?
Would you rather have a Mexican crab stick his tongue in your ear or a cockroach go across your breasts that you curse? Oh, I curse you, cockroach.
Like,
hey, bitch, how about waking up and stop swearing at the cockroach? You goddamn fucking cockroach jerk. I'm sleeping. Wait a minute, there's a Mexican man and his tongue is in my ear and he's a crab.
Mexican man, by the way, he spoke Spanish, is all we know. Not that he was Mexican.
He cursed at her in Spanish. That's true. What, he's Brazilian?
Well, in Florida, he could be fucking...
He's Cuban.
He's Cuban.
With Rick Ross. Damn you, Fidel. Damn you,
I know the
Bag.
real Noriega. He owed me 100 favors.
Now, we have a high school teacher.
Oh, God.
Turns out that he was carrying on an illicit love affair with a 17-year-old student. Turns out she was going to tell. Turns out he brought her into the woods, strangled her, and broke her neck.
Ay, ay, ay.
She's not dead, though. She's in intensive care, clinging to life. Unfortunately, her uncle, who had a heart condition, when he heard of the news, he died of a heart attack. So that's how we double back with these things in Florida. If
Thanks,
we can't
Teach.
get you this way, we'll get you that way.
Thanks, Teach.
And I like that. Hey, Teach, what you teaching? What's your class? What you teaching?
How to survive in the woods.
How to kill everyone that you come in contact with, asshole. We got a guy with the Scream mask. Remember the movie Scream? It came out like in the 80s.
Yeah.
This man is wearing a Scream mask and he's stabbing women in his neighborhood
Oh,
in Deland, Florida. He killed a woman. Police, many different people called the police saying, hey, yeah, did you ever see the Scream movie that came out like in the 70s? Like, there's a dude wearing that mask and he's screaming and he's running down the street. And you know how they caught him? Because there was a guy with a Scream mask running down the street screaming. The movie that came out in the 60s. Hey, guy, you're caught with your Scream mask.
Your
from
shitty,
the movie that
shitty-
came out in the 50s. Baby dies when father leaves her in car. It's not my fault, he said. Listen, I get distracted. I got a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old also, jerks. Think about that. Who can keep track of a 2-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 1-year-old? Sometimes the 1-year-old dies. Don't you get it? Are you a dad? Hey, man, are you a dad? No, I'm not. Well, then you wouldn't get it. Because I got a 2-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 1... Well, I got a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. You don't get it, undad.
Undad.
You don't even get it, undad.
Oh, man. That's this week in Florida, I guess.
Wait a minute.
We got one more?
Yeah, Melbourne, Florida. A woman dying inside of her apartment. She'd installed a special alarm, like calls the police directly.
I'm dying.
I'm dying.
Kind of alarm?
They also got calls from neighbors saying, hey, listen, this woman's been ill. Very nice woman. Could you come save her? Police showed up. The woman that runs the apartment complex refused to give them a key because, quote, it is against the rules to give a key to someone who's not a tenant. They climbed through a back window. She was dead. I was thinking about buying a house in Coral Springs. What do you think about that?
Sounds like a damn fine idea.
Coral death?
So crazy.
Hey, let's just throw the word coral in front of it, and people will buy it. Hey, fucking Florida. We're fine with 49. We will make it fine. Make it fine with 49.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah, that's our slogan.
We're selling our T-shirts.
When Seth and I personally carve a moat around the fucking border of Florida, it just, all we have to do is separate it by like 8 feet of water, and they won't know how to get across.
They won't know. They would not be able
They
to make
wouldn't
heads or
figure it
tails.
out. They wouldn't be able to navigate 8 feet of water, even if it was 2 feet deep. You and I could do that. We could do it, and we could podcast at the same time.
Did we a 1-year-old was killed?
Do you know that Adam Curry coined the term podcast?
Yes, I did.